Welcome, everyone. Today, we explore a profound concept that can transform how we live and find happiness. It's about the philosophy of letting life simply be. This wisdom isn't just about passive acceptance, but involves a deep understanding and engagement with life as it unfolds. Let's start by considering how often we fight against the current of life. Think about it. How many times have you resisted what was happening because it didn't align with your plans or expectations? This resistance not only creates stress but also blinds us to opportunities that lie in unexpected circumstances. To let life be is to cultivate a state of openness, where we allow ourselves to experience life without excessive judgment or the need to control outcomes. It's about trusting that even in the chaos, there's a flow that leads to growth and renewal. This doesn't mean we don't act or make decisions. Instead, it suggests that our actions are more harmonious with the realities of our existence, guided by wisdom rather than fear or desire for control. Now consider the last time you faced a situation that didn't go according to plan. How did you react? Imagine for a moment if, instead of reacting, you responded with curiosity. What might have changed? When we approach situations with curiosity rather than resistance, we open ourselves up to learning and understanding. This shift in perspective can dramatically alter our experience of life. This philosophy also invites us to reconsider our definitions of success and failure. In a culture obsessed with winning and achievement, it can be revolutionary to view every outcome as an opportunity to learn and evolve. What if you viewed every so-called failure as a necessary step on your path? How might that free you from fear of making mistakes and encourage you to take risks and embrace life more fully? Moreover, letting life be means understanding and accepting the impermanence of all things. Everything from our emotions to our circumstances is in a constant state of flux, and by embracing this, we can reduce our suffering. Have you ever noticed how much pain comes from clinging to how things should be? By recognizing and accepting the fluid nature of life, we find peace in the present moment, no matter what it holds. Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons. This acceptance also deepens our compassion for ourselves and others. When we understand that everyone is undergoing constant change, just like us, we can relate more deeply and offer genuine support. This compassion is not only about empathy, it's a practical stance that enhances our interactions and relationships with others. Now, let's discuss another aspect of letting life be, the art of presence. Being present is often touted as a remedy for much of our modern angst. But what does it really mean to be present? It's more than just a buzzword for mindfulness. It's a full engagement with the moment at hand, without the overlay of past regrets or future anxieties. To be truly present, we must learn to observe our thoughts and feelings without getting entangled in them. This observation is not a detachment that numbs us to life. Rather, it's a clarity that helps us experience life more fully. When you're present, you can notice the richness of your environment, the subtleties of your interactions, and the depth of your emotions. Imagine you're walking through a park, absorbed in thoughts about what you need to do tomorrow. Now, shift that picture. Imagine being fully absorbed in the sensory experiences of that walk, the sound of the leaves underfoot, the smell of the fresh earth, the cool breeze against your skin. This is presence, and it transforms ordinary moments into rich, fulfilling experiences. As we close this first part of our discussion, I invite you to reflect on how letting life be might change your daily experiences. What might shift if you approached each day with openness, curiosity, and a willingness to accept what comes? Let's pause here and continue shortly with more on how this philosophy can be integrated into our lives. As we continue exploring the transformative power of letting life be, let us delve deeper into the practical applications of this philosophy in our daily lives. The wisdom of simply allowing things to unfold can guide us toward a more peaceful and fulfilled existence, but it also challenges us to engage with our lives in a more conscious and intentional way. One of the key elements of letting life be is the practice of acceptance. Acceptance does not mean passive resignation or giving up on our dreams and aspirations. Rather, it involves recognizing and embracing the reality of the present moment, whatever it may be, without excessive judgment or resistance. This acceptance empowers us to respond to life's challenges with grace and effectiveness. Think about a recent challenge you faced. How did you handle it? Did you find yourself fighting reality, wishing things were different, or did you accept the situation as it was and look for constructive ways to deal with it? The energy we spend in denying reality is energy that could be directed towards creative solutions and personal growth. Moreover, letting life be encourages us to let go of the illusion of control. While we can influence many aspects of our lives through our decisions and actions, there are countless variables outside our control. The weather, the economy, other people's choices, and many other factors can affect our plans and well-being. By acknowledging the limits of our control, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and open up to a more flexible approach to life. This relinquishment of control also invites us to trust more deeply, trust in the process of life, trust in ourselves, and trust in others. Trust does not imply blind faith or irresponsibility. It is about cultivating confidence in our ability to handle whatever life throws our way. How often do you trust your own instincts or the natural flow of events? Consider a time when you followed your intuition, even when it didn't make logical sense. Often, these moments lead to unexpected and profound outcomes. Trusting life's process requires courage, but it also fosters a deep sense of peace and alignment with the forces that shape our world. As we explore trust, we also encounter the power of vulnerability. To truly let life be, we must be willing to be vulnerable, to open ourselves up to the possibility of pain as well as joy. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but in reality, it is a strength. It is through our willingness to be open and exposed that we experience true connection and profound learning. Think about a relationship in your life that deepened significantly after you or the other person shared something personal or difficult. That moment of vulnerability likely created a stronger bond and a deeper understanding between you. Similarly, by embracing vulnerability in our daily lives, we open ourselves up to a richer, more authentic experience. Letting life be also means embracing imperfection, both in ourselves and in the world around us. In a culture obsessed with perfection and the ideal, acknowledging and accepting imperfection can be revolutionary. It can free us from the pressure to perform or conform to unrealistic standards and allow us to celebrate life in all its messy glory. What would happen if you embrace your imperfections instead of hiding them? What if you viewed each flaw as a unique aspect of your character that adds depth and texture to your being? This shift in perspective can lead to a profound release of anxiety and a greater capacity for compassion towards yourself and others. As we conclude this second part of our exploration, reflect on the concepts of acceptance, trust, vulnerability, and imperfection. How might these ideas change the way you interact with the world? What steps can you take to integrate these principles into your daily life? Let's pause here and resume shortly, where we will explore how letting life affect our relationships and community interactions. As we delve further into the philosophy of letting life be, let's explore how this approach influences our relationships and interactions within our communities. The way we connect with others can profoundly affect our happiness and sense of fulfillment, and by applying the principles of acceptance and presence, we can enhance these connections. Consider the dynamics of your relationships. Each person we interact with brings their own experiences, emotions, and expectations to the table. When we approach relationships with a rigid set of expectations or a desire to control outcomes, we often encounter resistance and conflict. However, by adopting a mindset of letting things be, we foster an environment of openness and flexibility. How does accepting others as they are change the way you relate to them? It starts with the realization that just as we are on our own unique journey, so too are those around us. This acceptance does not mean tolerating harmful behavior, but rather understanding that others have their own struggles and growth paths. This perspective can lead to deeper empathy and a more genuine connection. Additionally, when we let go of the need to control or change others, we give them the space to be themselves. This space is where genuine growth and understanding can occur. Have you ever noticed how a relationship deepens when both parties feel genuinely understood and accepted? This is the power of letting life be within our interactions. Now, this approach also applies to our broader community engagements. Every community faces challenges and conflicts, and the philosophy of letting life be can provide a framework for more constructive community relations. Instead of insisting on only one way forward, communities can embrace diverse viewpoints and find innovative solutions that consider multiple perspectives. Imagine a community meeting addressing a contentious issue. If participants focus solely on promoting their viewpoints and dismissing others, little progress is made. But if the same group approaches the discussion with the intention to understand and integrate different perspectives, the outcome can be vastly different. This is letting life be in action, accepting that there are many ways to see a problem and many paths to a solution. As we consider how to apply these ideas to our community interactions, it's important to discuss the role of presence. Being fully present in our interactions allows us to truly listen and engage with others. It's easy to be distracted, thinking about our response or other matters, but true presence means focusing completely on the interaction at hand. What happens when you truly listen to someone? You might discover that their point of view enlightens your own, or that shared understanding resolves long-standing issues. Presence in communication is a gift that enriches both giver and receiver, fostering deeper connections and more effective collaboration. As we embrace these principles in our personal and community relationships, we also touch upon the concept of peace. Letting life be promotes inner peace, which naturally extends outward, influencing our environments and interactions. This peace is not a passive state, but an active force that enhances our capacity to handle life's challenges with grace and wisdom. To deepen this discussion, let's contemplate the impact of collective peace in a community. When individuals cultivate inner peace and apply the principles of acceptance and presence, the community as a whole can experience a shift towards harmony and cooperation. This shift is not just beneficial in peaceful times, it is crucial in times of crisis, where the collective calm can lead to more effective responses. As we conclude this third part of our exploration, reflect on how letting life be can transform your relationships and community interactions. Consider the steps you can take to apply these principles more fully in your daily interactions. Let's pause here and continue shortly with our final segment, where we will discuss integrating this philosophy into a broader worldview and its implications for global understanding and cooperation. The world is a complex tapestry of cultures, beliefs, and perspectives. Conflicts often arise from misunderstandings or rigid adherence to particular viewpoints, leading to tension and strife. By applying the concept of letting life be, we encourage a global mindset that values empathy, acknowledges diverse perspectives, and seeks common ground. Imagine world leaders approaching conflict resolution with the goal of truly understanding the opposing viewpoints and finding solutions that benefit all parties involved, rather than winning unilateral gains. This approach doesn't mean compromising on essential values or rights. Rather, it involves a more profound respect for the complexities of human experience and the interconnectedness of our global community. Flexibility, a key component of letting life be, is crucial in global politics. The ability to adapt to new information, changing circumstances, and unexpected challenges is essential for effective leadership. This adaptability prevents rigid policies that may not serve well in the face of dynamic global issues such as climate change, migration, and economic instability. By fostering a culture of flexibility, nations can better collaborate on global challenges, crafting policies that are robust yet adaptable enough to evolve as situations change. This approach is particularly vital in dealing with environmental issues, where the impact of decisions extends far beyond national borders and current generations. The philosophy of letting life be naturally promotes peace and cooperation. When individuals and nations approach interactions with an attitude of openness and acceptance, there is less room for conflict and greater potential for peaceful resolutions. This doesn't imply avoiding tough discussions or necessary confrontations, but rather approaching these situations with a mindset that values resolution and mutual respect over dominance. For instance, diplomatic negotiations that incorporate the principles of letting life be are more likely to succeed because they create an environment where all parties feel heard and valued. This approach can transform international relations, making them less about competition and more about partnership. To integrate this philosophy into a broader worldview, education and advocacy play crucial roles. Educational systems that teach empathy, cultural awareness, and critical thinking prepare individuals to engage more constructively in global issues. Moreover, advocacy for policies that reflect the principles of letting life be can drive systemic change, promoting more equitable and sustainable practices worldwide. Consider the impact of educational programs that focus on global citizenship and environmental stewardship. These programs not only inform students about the challenges, but also inspire them to be part of the solutions, fostering a generation of leaders equipped to handle global complexities with wisdom and compassion. As we conclude our discussion, reflect on how the philosophy of letting life be can be more than a personal or communal practice. It can be a transformative force for global change. By embracing acceptance, presence, flexibility, and empathy, we contribute to a world culture that prioritizes understanding and cooperation over conflict and division. Letting life be, therefore, is not merely about passivity or avoidance of action. It's about engaging with life and our global community more wisely and compassionately. It challenges us to see beyond our immediate concerns to the broader implications of our actions and attitudes, aiming for a world where peace and cooperation are not just ideals, but lived realities.